Outcomes-based education is a learner-centered learning philosophy that focuses on measuring students' performance, the outcomes. Therefore, what matters most in OBE is what is learned rather than what is taught. Peer and self-assessment. With peer assessment, learners are responsible for making assessment decisions and judgments on the learner's work. It is an important part of formative assessment that should take place, especially in group work, where it becomes a way in which the group assess itself. Peer assessment, as with self-assessment, assists learners' reflection and helps the group members to understand that the decision they made regarding the quality of their work are their own and that they should take responsibility for improving their work. As with any responsibility, the skill of peer assessment should be developed incrementally, step by step, by the teacher. Things to consider. In order to peer assess effectively, learners need to be taught the skills. Peer assessment can suffer from friendship factors, especially if marks are involved. Friends may get an inflated assessment and some peers may even suffer discrimination. Using of multiple assessors is likely to improve the assessment process by improving consistency. Gender and culture will affect the way in which learners assess each other. Self-assessment. Self-assessment is a learning experience. It involves the learner's understanding of assessment's criteria and enables them to take responsibility for making judgments about their own learning. This gives the learners the opportunity to reflect on what they do. Good use can be made of logs and diaries to record the learner's thoughts on the quality of their work. Things to consider. In order to assess themselves effectively, learners need to be taught assessment skills. Learners should be taught how to critically evaluate and analyze their work. Gender and culture will affect the way in which learners assess themselves. Reflection as an assessment technique. Reflection, like self-assessment, is about developing the capacity to make judgments about one's own performance and progression, and assists learning by promoting independent thought. Reflection can help learners and groups to express their thoughts either verbally or in written form. Reflection is viewed as an approach for improving the quality and depth of learner learning. Reflection can also be used effectively as an activity in group work and in fact provides an authentic context for both peer assessment and self-assessment within groups. This helps groups to make sense of what they have learned and start to consider why they have learned it. This is important because it links one part of learning to the wider overall picture. The process of reflecting can help both groups and individual learners to be more self-assured and self-aware. Reflection works very effectively in tandem with formative assessment. Once a learner has received feedback from either teacher or a peer, they can be prompted to reflect on that feedback and to consider what they can do to improve. It is this power that affects change that makes reflective practice an essential tool for lifelong learners. Things to consider. Reflection is likely to be new to most learners. In most cases, it increases motivation, confidence, and interest in the learning area. However, this may not become apparent until some time after the process of reflection has begun. Communication between teachers and peer group members encourages the learner to improve the quality and depth of their reflection. Reflection is based on learners and groups having the potential to admit to and learn from their mistakes. They may not be ready to do that until there is an element of trust between members of the class or group. Reflection is effective across a range of diverse cultures and educational backgrounds. Reflection is a continual process which is time-consuming. It should therefore be carefully planned and included in an integrated assessment strategy.
I recall the past again tonight.